Today is the 7th of November 2015, and we are in the Marriott Marquis Hotel, which is part of the hosting of venue for the American Dental Association annual meeting. I am Dr. Thompson Akwo, Ntuba, the editor of Health and Development magazine, and with me is...
My name is Dr. FARNCIS G. Serio. Everybody calls me Frank. I am 2015 recipient of the ADA's Humanitarian Award, and I've been the director of the Dominican Dental Mission Project. That has been a project that's provided dental care for the poor of the Dominican Republic every year since 1982.
Thank you. How did you get to the dental profession?
I started when I was a kid. My dad was a dentist. Our dad was a dentist. And it's interesting because when I started college, I said I'd never be a dentist. But then midway through college, my life's calling was literally had been sitting in front of me my entire life. So probably my junior year of college in 1974, 75, I decided to become a dentist and have not had a second's regret since that time.
There are many people who think that dentists don't study as much of anatomy and physiology in formation like physicians or MDs. What's your opinion and comment on that?
Well, we study what we have to study. Of course, the mouth is attached to the rest of the body, no question about that. Of course, we concentrate on head and neck anatomy and head and neck physiology, but especially these days where there are so many systemic diseases that are reflective of oral health, and oral health affects so many systemic diseases, that dental education now has done a very good job, I think, of integrating both systemic medicine along with oral health. I'm also a periodontist, so I'm very aware of the interaction between periodontal inflammation and diabetes, periodontal inflammation and heart disease, and some other systemic problems.
I am aware of the fact that there is an alliance to the ADA, and that the alliance actually does a lot of community work. Today, as part of their awards meeting, they gave a financial award or presentation to Martha's Table, which is a community non-profit that takes care of the needs of the destitute, the homeless, and other people that basically I think you work with. What is the need for the alliance in your own understanding?
Well, I don't work directly with the ADA Alliance, but this is the thing: the ADA, is primarily here to represent dentists in the United States, but in its other roles, and this is something I think that's critically important, that the ADA represents dentistry in a wider sense and recognize projects like Martha's Table, recognizes projects like ours that are crucially important to humanity for us to extend a helping hand in whatever way we can, and that the ADA is not just an organization unto itself, but it is an organization that needs to continue to reach out to others, to represent dentistry in as great a venue as possible, and also in a positive light. We are very fortunate in this country that dentists have done very well by and large in this country. And since we cannot pay it back, I firmly believe that we have to pay it forward, whether it's we pay it forward through our professional associations or through our private lives, either way.
You are now the guru
I'm not sure about that.
in dental global health outreaches from the award that the ADA gave you, which very, very few people have been able to achieve in their lives. What would you say is the reasons why you had the award?
I think there are a couple of things. Some these awards come along while you're living your life, while you're involved in your projects. Fortunately, a friend of mine had nominated me for this. I really wasn't looking for it, but when she found out I had not received the award, she said, "Why not?" And I said, "Well, nobody had nominated me." And then she said, "Well, we'll take care of that," and that's basically how it happened. But the thing is, I think when you do the right thing, people tend to notice. And especially if you do it for a long time. And we've been doing this for 34 years. And as you may have heard at the opening session, this project has been recognized several times. We have two awards from two presidents of the United States, as well as other awards, and now the ADH Humanitarian Award. And I want to make it clear that this award doesn't just belong to me. This award belongs to hundreds of people who both work directly with the project, volunteers who go to the Dominican Republic, but also the other people who make it possible. The donors, whether they're donating money, whether they're donating dental materials and supplies, whether they're praying for us, whatever it is. So this is an award that belongs to many people.
Thank you. You just talked about those who may be praying for you. What is the input of faith in this work?
Well, again, as I mentioned, as I had mentioned at the my comments when I received the award, I firmly believe in the unseen hand. I believe there's a hymn that we sing in the Catholic Church that I know is sung in other Christian denominations as well. You know, here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I hear you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you need me. Your call is in my heart. That song, talks to me. So really, my first year going to the Dominican Republic, it worked out that I was involved in an organization that I had some personal contact with that I didn't realize, but one of the members of the board of directors was a close friend of our families. I went to work with a group of nuns who turned out had the resources for me to bring other groups of students and volunteers every year. And that didn't happen by accident. People say, "Oh, it's just luck." No, I don't believe in luck. I believe that, luck. The definition of luck is preparation meeting opportunity. I believe in that firmly, and I believe in I firmly believe in faith. I believe in the unseen hand. I've had spiritual experiences on this project that have done two things. One, that have convinced me of the existence of God, and also that I'm sure I would never have had if had it not been for my experiences, for being on this project and opening myself to some of the spiritual influences that are out there.
Tomorrow is the Mercy Day when they are going to discuss some of these faith-based dental missions overseas. And I suppose you are supposed to lecture tomorrow. What is going to be at the heart or focus of your lecture?
Well, tomorrow, a lot of people want to do these kinds of activities but have no idea how to start. And so basically the subtitle of my presentation is Jumping Off a Cliff and Landing Softly, meaning that there are a lot of people now who can help people who want to get started on these types of projects, and you can get plenty of guidance. When I went in 1982, I literally went the first year. I didn't know anything about anything. I literally went on faith that the nuns would be at the airport to pick me up, that everything would work out. It turns out everything did work out, certainly very well. And but now, through the American Dental Association, through the International College of Dentists, and others, we've been able to develop a lot of resources that can give people guidance on how to get involved in these projects. And there are lots of projects out there. And so it's just a question of how we might be able to do this.
What do you have to tell young dentists who want to integrate spirituality in their science of dentistry, and they feel that science and religion or spirituality don't go together?
Uh, that's a very interesting question. This is the thing. I always marvel that the human body uh, can heal. Let's just say you take out a tooth. The fact that the body knows how to heal itself. To me, yes, it's genetics. Yes, we can explain it all. But where did it all come from? And then you can go back. I don't care how far back you go, but something had to happen to bring the first matter to get whatever it was. Talk about the Big Bang, talk about something. Until we can prove that something comes from nothing, something had to put the first elements, on the earth. But you look at the magnificence of the human body and of creation, just how it all works together. And I'm not necessarily talking about it in a strictly literal sense, but you look at the human body and marvel at how it's designed, how it functions, what it can do. And certainly it's amazing how often as things heal, of course it doesn't happen that way all the time, but a lot of times, we stop and think about what we're doing and how we put our hands in a healing way on somebody and how their body responds to that. And yes, it is science, and yes, there's things that we do, there's things that maybe we provide for those patients, but also you know, I think all of us need to think of things greater than ourselves and not be, it's funny because I'm sitting here looking at the selfie stick, even though even though Dr. Thompson here is the one holding it. But the point is, it's not about self. It's about it's about others, and it's about looking outward, and those kinds of things. So I think for young people, I don't care what your official institutional religious belief is, but I think all of us need to grasp the idea that there is a power greater than us, and I don't care what you call it personally, but that is out there.
Finally, I would want to ask a very personal question. The input of your wife and children, how has it contributed to this award?
This award belongs as much to my wife as it does to me because even she's a general dentist. She's been on the trip numerous times. I don't know exactly how many times. Our kids have been on the trip, but this is the thing. Anybody who volunteers and goes, you say, "Oh, it's about me." No, understand that there are many people standing behind you who have supported you, whether it's on site or else. Without my wife, especially when our kids were young, without my wife being home, without Cheryl being home with the kids, there's no way I could have done what I do. So this award truly belongs as much to her as it does to me.
Thank you very much, sir.